Hey folks, got Marty Mood here with me, and we're getting ready to do a reverse float trip.
B to A.
B to A. We're gonna start down at the confluence with the Juniata, and we're gonna run up here to Halifax.
Sweet.
And we got everything loaded up there. We're gonna leave my empty vehicle here.
Like Sanford and Son.
Pretty much. What do we need there? We need Granny in a rocking chair?
Something. We need Junior.
So Marty gets to be my guinea pig for different like experiments. Whether it's 41.8 miles in the Chesapeake Bay with a single battery or...
I get PTSD.
I heard
didn't bring my medication today. You gotta be easy on me.
Right? Today he's gonna be my guinea pig for a spin hook crankbait. Well, actually, it is better. Like totally 100% like hook up to landing percentage with the bigger one, which is a live target crayfish crankbait. I want you to try it with, we got Spro Little Johns. And I put a smaller
What he means
size.
is if anybody can lose a fish on these, it would be me. So
I don't believe
really
that.
putting him to the test.
No, that ain't it. Marty knows how to play a fish.
Yeah.
So if you look out there, we got all these little island, and then at the tip of it, you get these little grass beds. That's probably our highest percentage for big fish. There's a couple submerged grass right above that. So a lot of islands on this float trip. Sweet. Let's go put a crankbait on them.
Let's do it.
Well, water clarity has improved dramatically in a week. It's been a slow drop from almost 8 feet. So I think we're at 4.5 now. Fish on the smaller spin hook. Give me some good head shakes. He's jumped once fully. And just letting him tie around here. That held him good. Let's take a closer look. See that right in the corner of the mouth. 2 of the 3 points in them. They did not get off. So 1 for 1 on the Bass Star Spin Tech smaller spin hooks. I have snagged up. From the first couple videos I did with this, people want to know how bad does it snag. The live target one really doesn't. Oh, that one just came free. It doesn't snag bad. The jury's out on whether the Spro Little John does, but I send the plug knocker down there. The plug knocker has been able to leverage and get the live target crayfish crankbait with the single spinny hook at the back out of 2 positions, and it honestly came easier. It came out easier than I think it normally would. If you think about it, you only have one place that it can be attached, and that's here. The plug knocker comes down to here, and it flops a long distance side to side, and that is going to do a better job at dislodging it. In theory. In practice, I've only had to do it twice. 2 jumps on that guy. I'm gonna really tempt fate and just boat swing. Yeah. He's acting like he doesn't know he's hooked yet. Decent sized fish. I saw him zoom past. Right in that swift current where that grass bed is. Yeah. Yeah, it's a jump. I feel like the jump is always a good test of how solidly you got them hooked. 2 jumps, 3 jumps, whatever. The other awesome thing is, there, that actually came right out as soon as I handled them, but you know, when you reach in there for them, see a guy, 1 hook, very little fear of, am I going to get poked? But let's take a look real quick at where this fish was. Typical feeding, typical eat spot. I mean, I'm gonna go right up to it. I'm gonna cast it at first because he may have had buddies. Look between the two grass beds up here where that chute of water is coming down. He hit it right there, just on this side of that current seam, right here. So swift water, a little bit calmer water on this side, but he's nosed up in this rock and grass. Great little ambush point. Yeah, I got grass right there poking up to the surface. I think it's what it's going to be. Find the lightly submerged grass. I'm about halfway across Clark's Ferry here, and Marty's somewhat lagging behind. Yeah, come on, Marty, catch up. Although he's still in cleaner water. The further this way I've come, the more I'm behind the North Branch water, which is not quite as green. It's still a little bit turbid. And that may mean that we just need to use noisier baits, or bigger baits. I'm using that smaller crankbait. I think they'll still be able to find it, but the first few eddies coming across were nice and clear. The transition to a muddier lane might mean I need to throw the jackhammer or something really noisy here for a while. But I'm going to wait until I know that it's, you know, they're not hitting the crankbait first. By the way, this is the way I'm getting up. I'm dragging up right there. It's a nice gradual with that grass. I'll get to the top side. Could I run it with a torpedo? Probably on that side, but I just don't want to use the battery power when I don't have to. That's an easy drag. You catching them?
I got 3. Well, I landed 2 smalls. I lost the big one right at the side of the boat.
Okay, on.
You, the jackhammer.
All right, that's gonna be good because I'm gonna send you up that far bank, and it's a little bit muddier, and that's perfect for throwing a jackhammer.
I like it.
But do you see the grass bed behind me this way?
Yes.
That's how we're getting above it. Okay. That's just the more gradual, easier way to do it.
Okay.
All right. Whoa, that's a ledge. You find it? All right, away we go. Marty's about to do the same. He's gonna head to that side. I'm gonna hit this grass bed that's straight up there. Yep, that looks tasty. How high is that tree trunk on the piling? Let's back away. It does tell you something of the force of the water here. I don't know. Is it 20 feet up? It's close to it. That's an adult fish, I believe. Just pulled quite a... Oh, that is the first miss. And that was a significant fish. I feel like, oh man, that's one that the bigger hook would have got, but I hooked up again right away. There's some serious fish in here. I don't think this one's a smallmouth. I think it's probably a carp or something. That last one was a big one. Oh, and he came off. Okay, maybe there is something to the size. I just missed 2 in a row. Okay. I know they'll eat this, but I'm moving pretty quickly back to this. I just missed 2 in a row. After catching 3, I think the bigger hook is where it's at. All right, before we get back up in there, I just lost 2 good fish at that grass bed eddy. This is the one I did well with last week. Has the larger quad hook, bigger gap, and then this is the one I'm using today with the Spin Tech. And I just lost 2 in a row on it. I caught 3. They weren't bigs, but I swear I just lost 2 bigs on this one. So I'm putting this one away and going back with, and I think the difference is that hook. That is maybe the hook. We'll see. So here's the disturbance right there. And it is a submerged grass bed, but I think each of these submerged grass beds are old bridge pilings. All right, so I'm tempted to just run to that side of that island and work my way up, but I think what I'm more interested, especially after hooking those 2 big fish, I don't think the second one was a bass. First one was a big bass. Second one, carp, catfish, maybe a muskie. It didn't act like it knew it was hooked. And smallmouth always acts like it knows that it's hooked. What I want to do is to find more, instead of just working up the shoreline, which a lot of people are going to do. In fact, that bass boat, that jet boat just ran right up to run that. I'm going out into the open where I cannot see a grass bed, but I'm looking for the disturbances that I'm probably not going to see until I'm on top of them that say, ooh, there's a little bit of grass right beneath the surface. All right, there's a pretty wide low grass bed that was really hard to see out in the middle of this, but once I got close, I'm like, there it is. What you want to do though, before you run right up to it and fish it, look back here. You're going to be able to see there's a little bit of foam that's just not moving much at all back here, and that's the tail end right in there of that eddy pinching off as it comes back. Okay, quick illustration and a little bit of a look forward at the next video where I catch this 5-pound 2-ounce monster, and it has to do with what I just said, what I just showed you. It's the pinch off that most people park their boat on top of instead of cast to first. Check this out. All right, so current's going this way. Here's the submerged grass, or in the case of this one, the big island, that whatever causes the current break, where this is just screaming fast here and here. And you can start to see, you see these little, you for sure see a lot of little foam bubbles in this area that are still. It's harder to identify them back here, but if from a distance, you can see the little foam bubbles, and I've already put all these red marks where the fish are. Identify the foam that's not moving way downstream, and it gets, it's wide. The foam bubbles not moving is wide here. As it gets narrower, I really think you catch better fish back at the pinch off. Why? Well, because everyone pulls their boat up right here and they make a cast to the obvious spot there. Yeah, you're going to catch a 14, 15-inch fish, right? Real aggressive. sometimes you jam a big fish there because it's a classic eat spot. Easy to identify, pushed all the way up, super aggressive. But when they just want to chill, they're back here. They're right there. What you want to do is position yourself out here and lob cast in here first. You know, run the jackhammer through. Just strain that, hit all the way to the other side, and then move up. Then move up. Don't enter the eddy. Stay outside. Cast all the way to the other side, drag it through, and then hit these other spots, you know, or hit it a bunch of times, move up through the center, and then just fan cast, left, right, middle, all the way through this. But really, these fish are pressured. Not many people target them here. Everyone targets them right up there and all the way down the current seam, but not there. Don't overlook that. All right, back to the adventure. Marty's rejoined me. Looks like he's catching them on the current seam over there. All this grass is coming down from being totally flooded, and they're in little spots like this. He actually saw them busting on the surface over there. So I'm going to continue up and work this left side of the island. The clear water's there, muddier water's there. I'm not against fishing the muddy water, but I do want to throw the top water, and I think it has a better chance of working in cleaner water. They just run at it from further away. You want to know how to tell when it's a tough bite? The jet boats are running, just running. They're not fishing. They're like, oh, maybe they're over here. No, wait, maybe they're over there. They just zoom, 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 zoom. I think it's one of the advantages that kayak anglers have is they can't quite run around that fast. They kind of got to deal with what they got, dig in, and figure it out. All right, had some success on the Spro Little John this morning. Caught him pretty regular. Some might say, oh yeah, you caught the tail end of the morning bite. Lost a couple fish on it. I think because basically that hook gap was maybe too small for those big fish to keep them buttoned. So I went ahead and put the quad on there. I must see if this works. I know they like this size. It's not as aggressive as this. This is a larger bait and is I don't know, just smacks into the bottom a little bit harder. Subtle crankbait, medium crankbait. Some others, you know, are even bigger. I'm gonna go back to this with the quad hook and see what that does. This is a subtle one. You can see the foam settle right in there, and you see the disturbance way up there. So watch the crankbait way up at the top, the entire length of it. It's rocky. The bottom I was banging. This is not a grass bed, but it's still an important structure to work. It's a ledge, submerged ledge, and we get a little bit clearer lane here. A little bit clear water. Yeah, this guy's jumped a bunch of times, but that's 2 for 2 on the quad spin. That one got off. I probably should have netted him. It's rare. First one in a while. And not a real big one, but I do like the Spro Little John. Oh, calm down. You got it. to turn it on. Get around here. I went back to big stuff. Big jackhammer. Get in the net. You're not a giant, but you're not bad. It has been so incredibly slow today. This is the first decent fish since this morning. It's about 4 o'clock. The last one I caught anywhere near that size was this morning, I don't know, probably around 8:30, 9 o'clock. That felt good. It's in stark contrast to the last several trips up here when the river's been either about to rise, actively rising, or all the way up. In, you know, the drop, the slow, you know, return to normal, which we're not quite there yet, is just isn't as good as the rise. Oh man, I got a bunch of current here. I think it's a pretty big fish. Yeah. Right in there. Oh, it's a big one. Okay. Oh, you're turning on late in the day. All right. Really swift current here, and right up in this area. Nice chunky fish. Not quite 18, 17 and 3/4, but real heavy fish. I'm hoping this is a sign of what we're going to get the last 2 hours that we're out here. I'm going to take a quick pic. See you guys. This just has more, what I'm going to say, feature-rich. You know, it's just a better looking area than what we've been in all day. And, you know, all the little grass beds, all the little ledge rocks, you know, it's just coming together, and we're getting a couple better fish as it happens, you know. As it comes together late in the day. It's kind of been the case though, that we've had a period of the day where they're eating and a big chunk of the day where they're not. I just talked to Marty and he's like, I just got one that was on and off and it was good, but it was the first bite I'd had in hours. And, you know, it's just, I don't know how it's been, but it's firing up now, and kind of makes sense. Late in the day, we start chewing again. Oh, that was a giant. That was my shot. Late in the day. Whew, that was a big fish. This river's kind of like that. It's gonna give you a shot. You may go for hours without catching anything, but eventually it's gonna give you a shot at a big fish because they're just out here. It's unusual. I lose one on this setup. I don't think I poked him. He pulled drag. I think he had it all the way in his mouth. Makes me think if I should put a front treble on in addition to the rear spinny one. I don't know. Marty's catching up. We're gonna do a little bit of a review. Marty, I'm gonna yell at you.
Huh?
I'm gonna yell at you.
Why?
Because your prop is going and you're nowhere near it.
Whoopsie!
You gotta wear that kill switch, man.
I do have to.
Ah, 100%. Gotta do it.
Oh.
Dude, what's your take on the day?
That was by far the worst trip I've had at the Susky, for sure.
It was a grind.
It was a grind.
I will tell you right at the end, the ledge, like above the major one right there, I just lost a giant.
Ah.
Like a really, really fat fish.
I lost 2 good fish.
It gives you the, you know, even on a day where it's a grind, and I mean, you said you went a couple hours.
Oh, I went probably 2.5 hours without a bite.
Yep. I know I had more than that. But even
At
on
least
those
that,
days,
that's-
it will give you a shot at some bigs.
Oh, I had shots, yeah. I lost 2 decent fish, very nice fish. I don't know if they were 20, but they were nice.
Yeah.
And I had several other fish that they were definitely fish hit, come off, but
Yeah.
they weren't committing like normal. They were
I will tell you
lots
that
of short follows and short.
during the rise, last week I went 3 days and it was just better.
Yeah.
This river fish is better for big fish when it's higher.
Yeah.
And it's coming back down. I mean, you can see all the mud line
Oh, yeah.
is right about
Come down like 3 feet probably.
easily. So, what was your biggest?
18.
You got an 18?
I got 18 and several 15, 16.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah. It's about
Yeah,
what I got.
I mean-
17 and 3/4 and a couple 16s, you know,
Yep.
and a couple 15s right
one
at the end.
really, really fat 16. I mean,
Yeah.
It was like
They're
like
fun.
a football, but
Cool. All right, well, let's load them up, and we're going to complete our B to A trip. I will
Hey.
tell you, next time I come here, I'm just running up.
A and up. A to A.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you got one of those invasive
Lantern
bugs
flies.
on you, dude.
That's what I just took off my neck too, man. They're everywhere.
They're getting you. Lantern flies.
Yep.
Kill them.
Spotted lantern flies. Yeah, I pulled about 6 of them off of me.